All right, I think we can start. So thank you once again for joining the session. I'll be your moderator for the day. My name is Michael Kangeri, and I'm pleased to be taking you through Microsoft Teams. So you can actually find me on LinkedIn. I referred myself to as a Microsoft Teams evangelist. So that's why, as dimension data, we are keen to drive the aspect of Microsoft Teams as a hub for teamwork. So, like I said before, please mute your microphones from your end, and then we'll be able to have a smooth session. Kindly note the meeting is being recorded for future reference. All right, and then as you have joined, you can actually see that the tool has an option for typing. So you can actually type away, and then you will have your comment and your question on the chat. And then once we are done with the session, then we can be able to answer those questions together. All right, so I hope everyone can see my screen, and then sit back, relax, and let's get on to understand how we can actually use Microsoft Teams and get to understand what is this Microsoft Teams. Thank you. So Microsoft Teams is a collaboration app from Microsoft. It is what is known as a hub for teamwork. Microsoft Teams is not just any other collaboration app. It is part of an integrated experience, which is referred to as Office 365. So within Office 365, you will have your email, you will have your OneDrive storage, you will have your Office productivity tools, which are actually updated on a day-to-day, giving you security. And then now we have other services which are part of Office 365. But then now Teams is the hub that now brings all these experiences and integrations together. And we'll be seeing how that is done. But then before I continue, I would wish that we actually listen in to a video by Microsoft CEO just describing what is Microsoft Teams and why it was designed. So it will be a short video, so you can listen in and then we'll continue.
Every individual is different, and so is the case with every team. As we think about productivity, we think about people and teams of people and what they can achieve and accomplish together. It's core to our mission of empowering every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. There is no universal tool for teams, but rather a universal toolkit that we call Office 365. And today, we're adding a new tool and an experience to Office 365. Microsoft Teams, a chat-based workspace.
Microsoft Teams delivers on 4 core promises to create a digital workspace. Chat for today's team, a hub for teamwork, customization options, and the security that teams trust. Teams is an entirely new experience. It brings together people and conversations and content, along with the tools that teams need so they can easily collaborate to achieve more.
Hi everyone. So I've been living in Microsoft Teams for a while, and it is so nice to be able to finally share this broadly. Now within a team, we have the idea of open conversation channels, so anyone on the team can jump in and join the conversation. The key here is that these are high velocity and highly collaborative in nature. So let's dive into the Art and Media Festival channel and take a look at the team chat experience.
We're also seeing a ton of enthusiasm from customers. Andrew, why don't we start with you?
Happy to. Well, I think Teams is going to be huge.
It's going to be big.
With persistent chat, they can see anything that's transpired while they were away. It really has snowballed. It really become viral across our collaborative environment.
So customer service is central to what we do as an airline. And that means giving them the right set of tools to be able to service customers in the best possible fashion.
We can use this to increase productivity and creativity. It's that cockpit which I think is going to change the team experience.
Starting today, Microsoft Teams.
All right. So as you can see, that is the aspect of Microsoft Teams. So as you can see, it was designed as a collaboration application, but then not just a standalone application, but an application which brings the experiences of Office 365 together. So on a day-to-day, you actually manage a lot of activities, as we shall see on this presentation. So you'll find that you need to chat with your colleagues, you need to jump into a meeting, you need to log into a line of business application, you need to collaborate on a document, you need to maybe chat with your colleagues, but then now you find that you are not able to do that using a single application. But then now here comes Microsoft Teams, where now all these experiences and activities that you manage on a day-to-day are actually now brought together. So I know we are from different industries and sectors in this session, but then I believe that once in a while we need to actually work on some of these activities that I've mentioned here. And so Microsoft Teams is actually now the tool and the application that can actually now help you, for example, to access all your files and applications from a single location, have conversations with your colleagues, reduce document versioning. There's this syndrome which you call versionitis, where you actually work on a document, then you have to share it via email, and then your colleagues then have to work on it, give feedback, then share again via email. And then at the end of the day, you have one document which has undergone different versions. So you can actually reduce that with Microsoft Teams. And then within this tool, then you can actually have quite an experience when it comes to meetings, because meetings are actually part of our day-to-day activities. So once you launch Microsoft Teams, you can actually either join or create a team. But then for today, we are going to focus on what we call tips and tricks. I will not dive in so deep into how you can actually do that, so that then I would wish not to keep you for so long, so that I can also be able to answer your questions. So I will focus on what we call tips and tricks, and then we'll be able to join me on the next session, where now I'll let you know by the time I'm finishing what else we shall be covering. So like I said, once you launch Teams, you can either join or create a team. And then as you can see here, I created a team for this session. Teams is made up of channels, and this is where now the work, or where you can hold meetings and have conversation, actually usually occurs. You can build your teams For example, according to your department, according to a specific topic, or just for fun. So let's say you'd wish to have a team building session with your team. So you can create that channel specifically just for sharing ideas and having fun on the team. All right. So under this channel, that is where you can share files. And as you can see, I've shared some few files here. And then here, now this is where the aspect of collaboration which comes in, because you can actually now edit your document from Microsoft Teams. So in case I had my colleague opening the same document, you can actually see that my colleague has opened the document and you can be able to actually work on it together. So that is the aspect of collaboration and teamwork which Microsoft Teams brings out very easily. And as you can see here, we can actually work on the document as we share and chat as we work on the document together. All right. Then apart from sharing files under Microsoft Teams, you can also have the aspect of sharing or expressing your personality. That is by sharing of emojis, GIFs. So that means you are able to bring the aspect of fun into your working environment. But that's not all. What's also available on Microsoft Teams is, since email will always be part and parcel of our day-to-day life, you can also either forward an email from your Outlook by getting an email address for a channel and then sharing with your colleague, or else you can actually send. For example, let's say there's a document that you have been working on with your colleagues, and you do want to share that with your supervisor or someone else outside the organization. So what you can do is you can actually share that document within Teams. So as you can see here, just a moment. All right. So let's say I would wish to share this with my manager. So you can do that, and then all right. So as you can see, Teams gives you that integrated experience. And then now as you send, then you can actually, depending on your security, which you have subscribed to, you can actually encrypt this email so that only the person who is receiving will be able to decrypt it and be able to read the content. So I can actually send that, and my manager will actually receive the document. All right. So apart from that, let's say you usually work with colleagues, let's say outside Kenya or outside your organization, who actually, for example, don't understand English. So this is just an example. So Microsoft Teams gives you that ability to actually translate. So as you can see here, I've just typed a message with Spanish. So let's see. So actually what this means is happy birthday. So in case there's someone on the session who is celebrating the birthday today, I've actually wished them a happy birthday. All right. So like I said, today I'll be focusing mostly on tips and tricks. So the other aspect is actually now the meetings. So like I said, meetings are part of and parcel of our day-to-day activities. And so since this is also a meeting, let me just share this. Then you'll be able to see the kind of experience you can have with Microsoft Teams. So once you join in on a Microsoft Teams meeting, these are some of the options that are available to you. So you can actually turn on live captions so that the people who are attending your meeting will be able to follow through and actually just listen in and follow what you are actually discussing with them by having now the captions being recorded by Microsoft Teams. So that is the aspect of the artificial intelligence which is built in on Microsoft Teams. Then you can actually record your meeting for purposes of sharing that recording with someone else who was not in the meeting, was not able to join. Then there are those scenarios that you find that you need to join a meeting, for example, and let's say you are not in the office and you had not, for example, carried your device, say a laptop. Let's say you are taking a cup of coffee at Java, but then you need to join a meeting, for example, with your mobile phone, since Teams is also available on mobile. So what you do is you can actually change your background, right? So you don't have to worry that your background or where you are will actually distract the attendees. So you can actually change your background, as you can see here, and then you'll be able to just join in the meeting and have an experience by sharing your ideas on the meeting. All right. So that is one. The other one is you can actually take notes on as you join your meeting. You can actually take notes from Microsoft Teams so that everyone is able to have one view of all what was discussed within your meeting. All right, so let me share the screen again. Then we have now the calling functionality. If you have installed Microsoft Teams on your mobile phone, you can actually call someone else who has also installed the application, and you can have a conversation together. Apart from that, let's say you have deployed a telephone infrastructure in your organization. So Microsoft Teams supports what we call direct routing, where now dimension data can come in and assist you to deploy that, where you'll be able to integrate your telephone infrastructure with Microsoft Teams. So for today, I would wish to end my session there so that I'll be able to answer your questions, and hoping that at least you have gotten something from this. So on the chat, I will also share a link where you can give your feedback regarding this session, and then you'll join me next week, same time, same day on the 13th, so that now we can dig deep on how much more you can do with Microsoft Teams in terms of channel, how you can create private channels, how you can customize your Teams by adding tabs and applications that are part of Office 365 and other applications. So for now, thank you, and we can start answering the questions that you have. Thank you. So feel free to ask any question, and I'll be glad to answer. All right, I see there's a question here on the chat. Fred is asking whether we can be able to share the presentation on email. So like I said, when I was starting, the session is being recorded. And so once the recording is done, we then be able to share, we'll share that recording with everyone on this session. Thank you. All right, so Fred is also asking if one of the collaborators accidentally unknowingly delete the file, is it recoverable? So what happens is the moment you share a file on Microsoft Teams, it is usually stored on SharePoint. So in case someone deletes that file, it will be stored within SharePoint for a period of 30 days. So that delete is usually known as soft delete. So even if it is deleted on the team, it will still be recoverable from Microsoft SharePoint. Thank you. All right, Mwangi, I see you say you had submitted a call for question on registration. All right, allow me to check on those questions, Mwangi, and then I'll be able to get back to you. Thank you. So I can be able to get back to you either via email or in the next session. Thank you. So Petronila is asking how many participants can view on the screen. So Petronila, if I can answer that question to you, is for a Teams meeting, we usually, the application allows 250 participants, but then Microsoft Teams also has what you call live event, and live event can support up to 10,000 attendees. So I hope I've answered your question. All right. Then I can see John is asking, is telephony feature fully ready? I'm asking because I've seen people considering. All right, like I said, John is asking whether you can integrate telephony with Microsoft Teams. Like I said, Microsoft Teams supports what is known as direct routing, and Dimension Data has a fully experienced team which can actually integrate that for you. So it's asking, why does it need special integration support in order to deploy? Because it needs that special integration so that you are able to integrate now the aspect of calling within Microsoft Teams and also your telephony infrastructure. Then I can see Lisa here is asking, why should I embrace Teams? How does it stand out from other platforms? So like I said, if I may answer that question, Microsoft Teams is part of an integrated experience. So it is not just a standalone application, it brings in that integration from Office 365, and more so, as you converse, as you share files, you actually have peace of mind that whatever you are discussing or the files that you are sharing are actually on a secure platform, because you are working on Office 365, which ensures that the enterprise-grade security is guaranteed to you. So I can see James is asking, with regards to calling external guests through Teams, does one have to add the contact first to the contact list? All right, James, to answer your question, yes, we'd have to do that. But then, like I said, if you'd want to integrate your telephone infrastructure to leverage on all the calling functionalities, we can implement the direct routing for you. So Kevin here is asking, is it possible to integrate Microsoft Teams with Cisco Jabber? So we have a CX team. Kevin, if I answer your question, we have a CX team who actually now does the aspect of integrating these technologies that you have already deployed or you already invested on, so you can actually leverage Teams with your Cisco infrastructure. Yes, so William is asking, you can't see the raise hand feature. So So Microsoft Teams is rolling out a feature known as actually where you can actually raise your hand when you're in a meeting, just to indicate that you want to contribute or you want to ask a question. So that is a feature which is being rolled out across the tenants. So for now, it may not be available, but then give it, for example, a few days or weeks, and then once you update your Microsoft Teams, then the raise hand feature will be available to you. Sami is asking, for telephony to work, you must have E5 license, or with E3 it can work. So yes, thank you for that question. So Microsoft 365 E5 is the subscription that comes with the phone system integrated together. But then in case you have E3 or E1 licenses, you can subscribe separately to the phone system. And then now you can have the telephony infrastructure integrated with Microsoft Teams. So to ensure that I do not keep you for so long on the meeting, what I'll do is you can just type all the questions that you have. Then we will integrate, we will compile all those questions to you, and then we will share after the session is over, because I can see we already passed the time that we had set for the session. So I hope you've actually learned something valuable to you, and allow me to share that link where you can actually share your feedback, and then we will get back to you. Thank you so much. Give me a minute. So you'll find the link on the chat. That's the link there. So you can actually copy it and then just give your feedback, and we will be glad to have your feedback. All right. So thank you so much. I hope I did not keep you for long. And like I said, you have learned something nice. So just to mention something very important, the reason why we are actually driving out the aspect of Microsoft Teams is because we have worked with other organizations to drive the adoption of Microsoft Teams, and that has actually now made Dimension Data to be the country partner of the year within the entire East Africa region for the past 5 years. And in case you work in an organization and you have not deployed Office 365, we are offering a free 6-month trial. You can actually, we can actually deploy that to you, and then we will be able to ensure that you actually enjoy the experience of Office 365. Thank you so much. So on the link that I've shared, where you can share your feedback, you can actually indicate whether you have that technology deployed in your organization, and then we will get back to you. Thank you so much. So from my side, I would wish to just thank you so much, and also thank everyone who was involved from our end to organize this session. So thank you so much, and have a lovely day. Thank you, Emmy. I hope you have been able to learn something. So goodbye, and let's meet on the next session next week. Thank you very much. You are free to just click on the end button, and all right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Asante sana, Mikael.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, Michael.